All right, welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2012 look at the NCHSAA playoffs. Now we're going to take a look at the Midwest pod and the 4AA. This is a big game that a lot of people have been talking about really for most of the season, as it looked like East Forsyth, who's 13-0, was probably going to have an undefeated season, and of course Butler at 12-0. And this is another game that the pods played out to the way that the seeding was. You know, you want to see your number one and number two in any bracket, meet up. Just a few things about this game is Max Preps is predicting a 49-43 ball game. And of course, East Forsyth is a heavy run team. Like 3-to-1 in yards. They're rushing yards to passing yards, which tells me that play-wise is probably even higher than 3-to-1. The big thing for Butler is that LeMay returns for this game. So he's back. He's off suspension. So Butler will be at close to full strength. The game we think is at Memorial Stadium. I think my observation of the game is just based on what I saw from the Indy game, and Indy putting points, and Indy did it through the air and passing. And from what I've heard about East Forsyth as the year has gone on, I think East Forsyth's going to have to find more passing game to stay in the game with Butler. I don't think it's going to be a 49-43 game. I do think Butler might hit 49, and maybe could hit a little higher. But I think Butler could hit the 40, the 40s. I don't see East Forsyth getting out of the 20s. I think it's going to be too tough for them. And if they don't really have a pass game and they get behind and they have to switch to doing more passing, which, when you're down 2-3 scores and you're getting later and later into the ball game, you got to start finding ways to strike quickly. If Butler forces them into having to do more of what they don't want to do, of course, that doesn't work out well. So personally, I think that this is Butler's game to lose, more so than, say, last year when they faced Page. I think this is a clear, in my opinion, that Butler's a clear favorite here, and I'm picking them by 3 scores.
Yeah, I think the state is really looking forward to this game. Once you get outside of Charlotte, there's a lot of Charlotte hate. For different reasons, because we won a lot of state titles here, and they think there's school choice and all that stuff. But yeah, East Forsyth's had a great season, and they're going to be, if it's at Memorial, which we think it is, I think they're going to be kind of mesmerized when they come to the stadium. They play up in Winston-Salem, and you're playing at Memorial under the bright lights. You see the city skyline and all that. They're going to treat it like it's their Super Bowl. That being said, being a heavy run team against Butler is going to be really tough. We saw Butler earlier in the season against Vance in a big hype game. Vance tried to come out and pound them all game, and Butler just shut that down. And Vance got behind. At the time they didn't throw the ball that well, and Butler pretty much blew them out the water. And I haven't seen East Forsyth this year, but from reports, like Dale said, they don't throw the ball that much. My advice to you, if you're an East Forsyth fan, is please come with a balanced attack against Butler. They are too good defensively to try just come with a one-pronged attack. Butler's going to play 8 in the box, and if they try to run maybe a power I formation or regular I formation, they'll man those receivers up because they're that good on the outside. And just take the run away. So East Forsyth is going to either have to, really kind of open up their offense a little bit, or if they're that good at the run game, we'll see if they can pound Butler. But my bet is that they can't do it consistently. They may pop one for a long run or something early on, but I say Butler by 4 scores here. You got too much talent. And I think they're going to roll on here. They're on a mission. They want to prove that last year was a fluke.
Yeah, East Forsyth runs for over 300 yards a game. 8 times this year they threw the ball 10 times or less in a game. They've got Garrison Duncan and Levante Smith, both rushed for over 1,200 yards. And then between all their other skill players, they had another 1,400 yards total rushing. So they had about almost 5,000 yards of rushing season alone. Now they've got a guy, Brandon Smith, 6'7", 320 pounds. It makes it easy to run behind a guy like that. But you look at the rest of their line; they're good-sized linemen, but they're nothing overwhelming that Butler has not played before. And we already talked about how the only real success we've seen this year, if you want to call it that, has been trying to establish a bit of a passing game against Butler. Trying to run at them, as I just don't see it working out for East Forsyth, and I'm not playing them down at all. I mean, they've had a great year, but the people saying that maybe they're really the best team in the state, we'll find out. And if they can come and run over Butler, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But I just don't see that happening. When you look up statistically that they are not a passing team, I think it's going to be very difficult for them. Again, that Butler front seven. They're simply incredible. We can say all you want about their offense. Their defense is keeps them through everything, just like they did when Independence was getting driving down on them. I think they had 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. I mean, they're a weapon out there. I want to say this is going to be a 28-14 game. That's what I picked, but I think I'm being generous. But I'm definitely going with Butler.
Okay. One comment you made, or we talked about here, was passing, and the other element that Independence had going for them is they didn't have a pocket passer. They had a kid that could move around, a little bit of mobility, right. Which is what you're going to need, because that front seven can bear down on you hard and fast. One of the things that Butler's always been has been fast at the linebacker position. I don't know why, but it seems like every year they have these fast linebackers, and you can't do a 3 or 5 step drop and sit and look and throw. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have guys in your face, and I don't care how big your line is. You got athletic guys on the other side on that defense, and that front seven's very athletic. They're fast and they're athletic and they're strong, which means they're going to find the gaps, or they're going to find the ways around to your quarterback. And your quarterback, not just do you need to bring a passing game, your quarterback's going to need to have some feet, because he's going to have to buy himself some time in this game. I don't think he can just sit back in that pocket and throw the ball. If he does, I'll eat crow, and as we said last week, just as long as it's deep fried or barbecued, but I'll eat crow.